Today, I'm excited. I found out not too long ago that I had some music placed on season 2 of Young, Famous, and African on Netflix. So I had multiple tracks placed throughout the season. I also worked on music for this show on the first season as well, which was pretty exciting, especially with it being, I believe, is the first African reality TV show on Netflix. So pretty cool opportunity to produce music for this show, and then it was super cool to come back around season 2 and find out I have even more music placed throughout the season. But episode 1, I heard some familiar music right away. It's crazy because you know immediately when it's something that you've created. So right kicking off in episode 1, I noticed a track that was used, and then as I continued to watch episode 1, I noticed the same track come back, but it was a different part of the track. And then I kept watching episode 1, and then the track came back and they used a different part. So I was just like, okay, there's something to this track that, keeps editors going back and pulling it and pulling different sections from it. And I'm going to open up my session. I'm going to actually break it down for you so you can see, exactly how I structured this track and some of the things I put in there that I think aided in this track being used so many times on just one episode. And I think they used it some more on like one of the other episodes along with some other tracks, but it's pretty cool. So I want to break that down and show you all exactly, what this joint looks like. So if you're on Netflix, you can check this show out yourself. You can, check out the episode, see if you can find the music that we're going to kind of break down today. I think that'll be kind of fun. I was going to show exactly where the music was used, but I was like, yo, that'll take the fun out of it. Why don't you watch it and then come back to this video and leave a comment and let me know where you heard this particular track in episode 1, season 2 of Young, Famous, and African. I think it'd be kind of fun. So let's dig into the track, man. So this is the session. This is the version of the session that's like everything is just bounced out in audio. You can even see I still have my notes, the last round of revisions in here, which is pretty interesting as well. Let me see. Could we have a short riser leading up to the first note? Could we so we didn't even have like, I don't even think this track had like a legit intro. Like we were just getting straight into it. It was really exciting working with this particular team as well because they were musicians, composers. So it was really easy to go back and forth and communicate because we spoke the same language. Can we try a 1-bar pause at 46 seconds? This will work well as an edit point. Some subtle percussion could really help to maintain the drive. Fill space and mix could introduce some. So yeah, like a bunch of different notes. You can just sit here and read this stuff. This is a part of the process when you're creating music for TV. Sometimes you can send in a track and then they're like, okay, boom, it's good as is. But when you're kind of crafting a production music album, there is potential to do multiple rounds of revisions and notes. And this is what some of those notes look like when you're communicating back and forth with, the publishers and editors and things like that. So that's pretty cool to see. So this is the session. So let's play it. I'm going to play it from the top so you can kind of hear it. And then I'll kind of go into the parts that really stood out as far as what they were using in the actual show. So let's play the track. On all of these tracks, this particular publisher wanted silence at the beginning. So when they drug it into their DAWs and things like that, they didn't want any notes to cut off. So I'm literally playing this joint thinking like, yo, why don't I hear anything? So that's why. So we had a riser. We got straight into it. There's no intro. We're going straight into verse 1. So here we go. After those 8 bars, we're doing something different. So right away, we have 2 sections that can easily be chopped up for an editor to transition from scene to scene on. And I think the secret with this track is that it has multiple stings, meaning this part right here. So that's kind of like a harder sting with the orchestral hit that I added in there. And then there's just that ringing out and then that moment of silence, which is a clean edit point for editors. So we have that first one. And then you kind of have this build up here, which again is a great edit point. So if you're going into a scene and you just want to come in, you have a riser, you have something kind of leading you into another or the hook actually. And then the second sting was right here. And that's a softer sting. So depending on what's going on with the scene, you may want a harder one, you may want a soft one, but they have options, which is the whole point. So yeah, so technically you kind of have like 3 cues. If they wanted to come in here, they have a cue with the 808 and like some slightly different instrumentation going on. You have this first part, which was kind of sparse, with just the string. So that's 1, 2, 3. You have 3 cues right here that can be used in a TV show already. And we're not even done with the track. So that's 2. So now let's pick up on this second verse. So again, we're bringing that sting back. Kind of went more dramatic on this one to kind of switch it up. Like, you don't want your tracks to just get monotonous and just do the exact same thing at like just throughout the entire track. It gets boring, right? So this keeps it interesting. It gives them a little bit of ear candy, and that's how we kind of stung out on this one. Again, another great edit point. Like, they could just use just this part right here to transition from a scene. Boom. And that's it. So on this final hook, I kind of added another layer of instrumentation, which is these pads here, just to give it a sense that, you know, the track is building more. It's kind of going somewhere. I mean, it's not just remaining the same, you know, as the first hook. And then again, we have another, you know, the final sting ending as it kind of builds up. Did something a little different with the drums here. Just to keep it interesting. And then that's it. Like, that's the final sting ending. So I think what really helped this track get placed multiple times on one episode was the fact that it had so many great edit points. And I want to shout out the team that I was working with on this particular project, because they're the ones that even pushed me outside of my traditional structure and just really brought a different set of ears to it and expertise to add those additional clean stings and silence at the end. Because normally I don't leave a lot of silence in between like my verses and hooks and things like that. So I think doing that, and I think this is something I'll start to implement more in my instrumental cues, is kind of adding that silence just to create, you know, multiple cues in one track. And it just allows them to get the max amount of use out of this particular track. And yeah, and then throughout the track we're just building. Like if you want to, see from scratch how I build a track from, from 0 to 100, just from the ground up, I have a video course that really breaks it down, and I show you like why I'm doing certain things, why I'm adding certain layers of instrumentation at certain spots, why I'm making an intro a certain way, or how do I construct the sting ending that you keep hearing over and over again, and why that's important. So if you want information on that and see me walk through that from step by step, just from the ground up, then I'll leave a link in the description to my How to Structure Instrumentals for TV course. That'll break down everything, and I'll leave that link in the comments as well, so you can check that out, and that'll really give you more detailed look, because like I don't want to go into detail on every little thing I added in this track and why in this video. This is really just to show you the track that was used on this particular show, Young, Famous, and African, and why I think it worked so well. I haven't watched like the rest of the season, so I don't know if they continue to use this. A lot of times once they pull a track, sometimes they'll just continue to place that track over and over. But I do know there were at least 2 that I heard in like the first 3 episodes from the production music album that I worked on this particular project that I heard on the show. So that's pretty cool. So it's probably some more sprinkled through there. So that was exciting, and another placement under the belt, and another opportunity to create some dope music for a dope show based out of Africa. So that's it. So I want you to definitely go and watch the show. It's Young, Famous, and African season 2 episode 1. Come back to this video and comment once you hear the tracks. Let me know which scene or timestamp or whatever you heard the tracks, and see how many times you can actually hear it, because they're using different parts throughout the episode. So I think that'll be fun to kind of hunt for. If you like this video and you thought it was helpful, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.